have three IPOs coming in this week. That is Signature Global, Science 6, and Yatra Online. Could you take us through the business model of the three companies?
Okay, so now first of all, I'm starting with Yatra Online because today being the last day of this IPO. So if I talk about Yatra Online, it is one of the largest travel, corporate travel service provider and third largest online travel agency, we can say, in the terms of number of clients. So they have a large share of the corporate clients. I think around 813 corporate clients are there with the company. So they are basically into the travel servicing provider. And especially to the corporate clients. So this is basically the Yatra's business model is. And if I talk about now another business model of another company, that is Signature Global. So again, they are one of the largest real estate service provider in the NCR region and basically in the Gurugram region. So basically Signature Global is into real estate services while Yatra Online is into the travel services. So in that way, the two companies are having from the different industry are having their business model.
Right. Now, also, if you look at the real estate firm that is Signature Global, it has fixed a price band of 366 to 385 per share. Investors can bid a minimum 38 shares in one lot, multiples thereafter. So does it leave anything on the table for retail investors?
So talking about Signature Global, basically it is a young company basically. And if I talk about their valuation, so when we compare the valuations of a real estate company to any other real estate company or in this industry, we don't take price to earning multiple because here the calculations are totally different. The revenue, it is basically on the basis of the revenue and the project completed because sometimes it takes, years to give, the final keys to the clients in the real estate, right. The real estate company. So the methodology of recognition of a revenue is entirely different. So here, if I talk about the evaluation, so I'm not taking the PE multiple basically, and even it cannot be taken in this company because this company has posted losses in last 3 years, whatever they have mentioned the financials in the RHP. So on that basis, they have shown losses. So on the P multiple basis, if anyone wants to know about it, then it is negative P coming around due to the losses. But if I evaluate on the other parameters, then on the EV by sales basis, because revenue are the major parameters to analyze real estate company due to their working or business model. So it is coming at around EV by sales of 6 times. If I take about the FY23, post-issue capital. So here, although it looks to be a little stretched, the valuations look little stretched because of the losses they have posted. So it is really difficult. And even on the EV by sales or EV by EBITDA, on EV by EBITDA especially, it is look stretched. But we have to think about the long-term perspective of this company because the business model is entirely different and they have a very strong pipeline. So on that basis, in the long term, definitely whatever losses they are showing, we are quite optimistic that over the period of the next couple of years, that the company will be turning around.
Right. Now, in fact, let's move to the other IPO, which is Yatra Online. It has fixed a price band of 135 to 142. What about Yatra Online, Astha? Does it leave anything on the table for retail investors as well?
So for Yatra, the things are looking very strong. But if I talk about the valuation, so major concern arises over there because valuations look a little stretched. If I talk about Yatra Online, because they are coming at a P multiple of more than 200. It is basically I'm talking about FY23 basis, PAT basis, while the post-issue equity capital I have taken into account. So valuations look a little stretched for the Yatra on the P multiple basis. But again, even if I talk about the Yatra also, over the longer period of a time, they will be showing strong numbers. That is what I believe on the basis of their business model. But right now, yes, valuations look stretched, and that is why we think that nothing has been left for the investor on the table if I talk about Yatra.
Now, Astha, in the meantime, if you want to discuss the finances of Signature Global, let's say compared to the peer group, how does it look like?
So if I talk about the finances of the Signature Global, see this company has posted losses because I have already told you on the basis of the kind of business model this company is into. So on the
Yeah.
top line front, their financials look quite strong because on the top line they have shown the numbers of around 1553 crores. That is looking very strong, and in fact we have
Okay.
seen a strong jump in their revenues as compared to last year, because in the
Mm.
last year they have posted the revenue of only 901 CR. So against that 1553 CR, that is of FY23, and 901 CR of FY22. So finances look good. They in the sales they have grown at a CAGR of 40% over the last 2 years, which is looking good if I compare it to the other years. Being a very young company, definitely the base is small, so that's why we are seeing the
Mm.
strong growth figures also. So that is also one of the reasons that why we are seeing a strong growth, especially on the top line front. But again, growth is looking pretty strong if I talk about the Signature Global Finance.
Right. So growth is looking strong in Signature Global. Although for Yatra, you've highlighted that valuations look slightly expensive, but how does the finances look like compared to the peer group?
So, if I talk about the finances, definitely Yatra valuation is high, but their CAGR growth is again looking strong, especially if I talk about the top line. So, even in the top line also, they have posted strong growth. If I compare it with the year FY22, so growth figure is coming at around 58%, which is looking quite
Okay.
strong. And in fact, one more point about the Yatra is that they have turned around on the bottom line front in
Mm.
FY23 only, because in the previous 2 years, that is FY21 and 22, they have posted losses. So in that way, they have already turned around on the bottom line front in FY23. So in that way, the growth is looking really strong in the bottom line also. If I talk about Yatra, so in Yatra, both top line and bottom line has posted strong growth. But the only dampener or the concern here is the valuations, which is a little bit on the higher side.
So ultimately, so what should investors do? I think with all the three IPOs, that is Signature Global, SciSIF, and Yatra, are they the long-term play which everyone is looking at, or anyone who's good for listing gains? Do let us know, and we'll try and clarify with that.
Okay, so now first of all, talking about Yatra, see, we if we see Yatra, they are coming at a price band of around 135 to 142. But there
Okay.
are two important points about this company apart from valuation. First of all, since they are into the corporate travel, so here the retention ratios is very important. So 98% is the retention ratio. If I talk about the Yatra, that is
Okay.
98% of the corporates stick to this company for over the period of a time. So that is
Right.
important. Secondly, the brand is really carries great importance. So here the
Mm.
Yatra brand we all know, and it is a good brand. And one important example of the brand, strong brand of this company is that whatever traffic is coming on their website, so 98% is coming directly to the website. That is, they are not through any paid something like that, or not through any
Okay.
intermediary. So 98% of
Mm-hmm.
the visitors are directly visiting the website of the Yatra. So that itself shows the quite strong brand recognition the company is carrying. But Kshitij, we should not ignore one more point, that lot many
Mm.
IPOs are coming. Last
Yes.
a week it was we can say four IPOs, and this week four IPOs. So lot many IPOs are coming, and one good point about that is now the listing days have also been shortened.
Mm.
T plus
Yes.
three. Today we have seen about the
Right.
RR travel also. So
Yeah.
in that way, liquidity carries a great importance when so many IPOs are coming, and we have to be
Mm.
very selective, because it is not the case that one or two IPOs are coming, so every IPO can generate strong returns. No, it is not the case, because
Mm.
liquidity is now sucked out from the system when so many IPOs are coming. So that is something we have to look upon. So in that way, because I have to be very selective, and
Mm.
valuations here is look on a little bit on the higher side at the present level. That's why
Yeah.
I'm recommending Yatra only for the long-term purpose.
Mm.
Here the long-term horizon should be more than a year or so. So
Mm.
if that is the perspective, then one can subscribe for Yatra. So Yatra is a subscribe from our side, but for long-term only. As I've told you, the reason behind it is the valuation.
True,
Now,
absolutely, yeah.
talking about the Signature Global. Signature
Mm,
Global, so they have done a very strong work. They are the largest
mm,
real estate developer in the NCR Gurugram
right.
region. And we always say that if you have to value the real estate company, then just see their
Mm,
revenue, their completed projects, what projects they are
mm,
having into the pipeline. So what I am thinking about Signature Global, that over the next couple of years, most of their projects will get completed, and
right.
money will definitely come in. So whatever
Mm,
bottom line right now, which is showing some sort of a negative figures, then we are quite hopeful that they will turn out to be positive over the couple of years, or maybe a year or so. So it is a
okay.
good long-term story, Signature Global. We are recommending investors to subscribe on that, again for the long-term perspective. Maybe on the listing gain also, if you are a high risk taker, you can go for listing gain purpose also. So that that is not so much of a surety of, but for the long term, Signature Global is a subscribe. Now talking about
Okay.
Sai Silk Kalamandir. So this is entirely a different company. So they are
Mm,
basically into the South India, a concentrated sari retailer, basically into the sari, we can say, or a women ethnic
mm,
wear,
mm,
where the 68% of the revenue is coming from these saris only. So looking out after their financials also, they are looking quite strong. I mean, the
mm,
top line CAGR of 40%. In fact, the valuation they have done, so PE multiple is also coming at around 35. So that is looking
mm,
reasonable. So Science Silk Kalamandir is also a subscribe from our side. So now I'm just giving the rating. If one is not a risk taker, then they can go for Science Silk on and
okay.
then Signature, and then Yatra. And if you are a risk taker, then for the listing gain also, Signature can also be recommended. So just investor has to see, their appetite, and they can put their money in. But yes, Signature Global is a good long term story. So
Right.
from the long term perspective, one should really subscribe to it. This is my personal opinion. And Saisal Kalamandir is also looking a decent investment option. So out of these three, two, we are quite positive on Silk and Signature Global.
Signature Club. Right. Well, I hope viewers, you got your message there and you've noted down which companies are looking good for the long term, as which companies are looking for the listing gains. Well, on that note, thank you so much for your time, Astha. That's all for now. Do stay log on to
Thank you.
ET Markets live stream for more on news and investment ideas. Thank you so much for it.
Thank you.